Hey, 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 everybody. Good morning. Happy hump day. Welcome to today's morning session of the Healthy Habits Summit. I am Crystal Taylor, the owner of Fitness is Not a Game, where I help busy people like you find the balance of living a healthier lifestyle by providing meal plans and workouts that are quick yet effective. I'm also the creator and the host of the Healthy Habits Summit. And as I've been telling you all every day so far this week, it's called the Healthy Habits Summit because I want you all to develop habits in your lifestyle, not just about trying to lose weight at all. We are looking at ourselves as a whole and as a collective. And today, I'm so excited because this is the beauty day. We're going to talk about our skin. We're going to talk about our hair and things that we should be doing to make sure that our skin and our hair are the healthiest that they can be, because we all have those issues. Look here, I am 43. That's a shame. I do forget my age all the time. And so my skin is changing. I know that my routine has to change due to my age. My hair is changing. We all got those edges that could be a little bit thicker, probably that crown. So today we will look here. I'm just being honest with it. I tell people all the time, I used to have locks, and people are like, oh, your locks are so pretty. Why you cut them off? Because I had to let them go before they let me go. I was not going to pull a Stevie Wonder up in here. Y'all weren't going to talk about me and have me all on the socials. Wasn't going to happen. So as we start the day with talking about skincare, I had to bring this beauty that you see here onto this show because we've talked before. I've known Marla for a couple of years now, and we've both been on each other's, socials, just talking, providing information. When I tell you, every time we talk, my mind is blown by her wealth of knowledge, her passion for it. It's just crazy. So I said, look here, when it came to this summit, I had to have her come on because honestly, when we talk about the healthy habits, I don't know if you know this, Marla, but I had the idea from the last time we talked when you were talking about the small things that we should be doing for our skin that we don't think about. I'm like, we need to create these routines and these habits so that we can have healthier skin. So I guess we can accredit Marla for the title and what's going on. But let me tell you all about Mrs. Marla Darnell Leak. She is the CEO and founder of Marla Renee Skincare, a non-toxic, facial-focused indie brand for women of color. It's hard for us to find stuff for us, y'all, because people don't understand our skin. But her mission is to empower women to take control of their health and well-being, reminding them that they are powerful, bold, perfectly imperfect beauties. Yes, I like that. And I told y'all before to get y'all pen and paper during this whole session so y'all can write down some takeaways. And if anything, y'all should be writing down, I am powerful, bold, perfectly imperfect and beautiful. Write all that down. Somebody put that in the comments. She's a CNA by trade, and after leaving work to be her mom's sole caregiver, she realized that an alarming number of skincare products are formulated with toxins. She was forced to become a quick study of skincare ingredients and how to choose the safest brands for her mom. After her passing, Marla utilized her avid love of DIY and her newfound passion for safe skincare to navigate the grieving process. Formulating products evolved into developing her own line. She studied the EU standards for cosmetics and solicited the help of a cosmetic chemist to bring her vision to life. She seeks to enable women to make skincare choices that will help them achieve their personal vision of beauty without sacrificing their inner being. Did y'all hear that? Your personal vision of beauty, right on, not what we see on TV. Her products deliver uncompromising results naturally through wild-crafted, eco-conscious, cruelty-free ingredients, one of which landed as one of Birdie's is early, y'all. 2018 Best Skincare Products for Women of Color. Her journey to skincare evolved out of the tragedy of losing her mom to cancer. Her passion and dedication are fueled daily by her amazing tribe of women who relay their experiences of renewed confidence, restored self-esteem, and overall joy her products bring. Y'all, welcome, Ms. Marla Darnell. How are you this day?
I'm great. How are you? How are you this morning?
I am doing, I'm excited. Like I said, I love every conversation we have. I feel like every time my mind is like, whoa, what is happening? Because she's just like snatching the little edges I have left. But I appreciate your real raw passion for skincare and for us to do it, take care of our skin in a healthy way because there's so much crazy stuff out there. So yeah, give us some more information about you. Tell us, something else that's not in your bio about how you feel and how you got into all of this. I know it's from your mom, but I know
Um,
it's still more to it. I know it's deeper.
that was the original reason as I got into when I was caring for my mom, having
Mm-hmm.
to take care of her and work with doctors, and she was developing allergies and things like that. But
Mm-hmm.
after her passing, we all grieve differently, and I've always really liked just doing DIY. So it actually started with baking, and I was baking everything: cookies, cakes, and pies. The family couldn't take it no more. They were like, I'm like, try this, try this. They're like, no more cookies, no more
Right.
cookies. And I found myself in a Facebook group just wandering around, and then it was like this group of just women who were making like handcrafted stuff, which
Mhm.
I never thought of doing before. And it just intrigued me. So before I knew it, I was just asking questions. I started ordering, supplies and things like that. And I just, next thing you know, I was making lotions and butters
Yeah.
and everything. I'm like, try this, try that. I was handing them out to friends and family,
Mhm.
and they really loved it. Before I didn't even realize I had a brand
Mhm.
until it was like actually on and moving. Like, before it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm gonna put you on the shelf. I'm like, what? Like, really? You think so?
Like,
you know?
like it's
Um,
never fun. What do you mean?
yes. And so through that, I really found a passion of formulating. So I get to formulate and create formulas for other skincare brands.
Mhm.
Um,
Oh wow.
so yeah, so I get from like concept to shelf. So I really like enjoying that process as well.
Mhm.
Um, and but just more importantly, I really just enjoy helping the women throughout their process. There's a lot of women who are like in our age bracket, anywhere from like late 30s into our mid 40s, that are really starting to take skincare seriously, but they
Mhm.
don't know where to start, or
Yeah.
they just been struggling their whole life with skincare issues. And
Mhm.
I'm able to just get them to a place where they're absolutely comfortable. They are makeup optional, which is super important,
Mhm.
and their confidence is just really restored. So you can't
Yeah.
even stop them. I'm just like, okay, I see you. I see your selfies. Okay, so just a little bit about me.
They turned it to selfie quiz. I will say, and I should have pulled it up. I should pull it up now. So Marla has this amazing skincare quiz that you can take to find out your skin type. Because one thing and I don't know if you all can see, but I have my shirt today. I'm loving the skin I'm in. And I like to say yourself. And what did you say? Yourself realized beauty in her, whatever. I got it, but it's really cool. And we'll provide the link for them to take this
Yes.
skincare quiz so that you can see what your skin type is like. Because as she said, it changes. So can you give some more background on that as far as how your skin changes over the years? Oh yes, please give the baby analogy. Yeah,
So
this
our
is
skin
I love
changes
it.
over the years. The most ideal time to really establish a skincare regimen is in our 20s. And I know for myself in my 20s, I really wasn't even thinking about that. I went to bed with makeup on after partying, whatever the case may be. But actually, once we hit our 20s, our skin slows down the production of certain hormones and chemicals in our body. So like collagen slows down when we actually hit our mid 20s. It actually slows down. So by the time you hit your 30s and your 40s, we need to start implementing things in our skincare regimen to help keep our skin plump and youthful and things like that. And the analogy that you're referencing to is I always tell my clients, it's kind of like when a baby is first born and they're super plump and juicy. They're just full of all this collagen, and you just want to kiss them and squeeze them and hug them all over and stuff. And that's because that is the most optimum time where our body is filled with collagen when babies are first, and we are producing the collagen at a rapid pace. But when we hit our 20s, it starts to shift a little. So our 20s is really meant for preventive, just maintenance. It's a
Mhm.
great time to even have just a basic skincare regimen. A 3-step regimen will work well: a cleanser, a toner, and a moisturizer. It's just at that point you're trying to establish a habit, consistency. because by the time you hit into your 30s at this point, we start to develop certain skin issues. We wake up, we have these smile lines. It's like that saying, I hit 30 and all of a sudden I had this ache in my back. I didn't know where this came from. It's the same thing. I have this frown line on my face and I never had it before. Yeah, like those worry lines and things like that. And that is just because, our bodies have slowed down. And so if we don't incorporate a regimen that has ingredients in there such as hyaluronic acid, collagen, peptides, all of these things which our body makes naturally, but it slows down the process, that's when you see the signs of aging a lot sooner than later. And that is, wrinkles, the fine lines, the saggy, the dull skin, things like that. So it is important as our skin does change, and even our skin changes throughout the month in itself, even though we have a typical skin type, whether it's normal, combo, oily, throughout the month, it does shift, so we need to have a regimen that doesn't even have just maybe one cleanser. You need to have something that has maybe 2 cleansers in it, or maybe 2 different type of moisturizers, one that's a little heavier and one that's lighter, because our skin has totally different needs throughout the month.
Yeah. Whoa, wait a minute. You just hit. So I keep telling y'all every day to have your pen and your paper. I told y'all I'm taking notes throughout the entire week because there are things that I want to make sure I remember to do throughout. And so I hope you're doing the same thing. But you touched on a lot, Marla. So let's go back to this mind-boggling information and stat. It's interesting how in our 20s, we think we are invincible and like there's nothing that's going to stop us and we're just fearless and we live. And you just told us that, just slapped upside of the head that in your 20s, y'all, is when you start losing collagen. At that point, we don't think that anything negative is happening to us in our 20s. We are just living life. We think that's when we the flyest and everything else. And it turns out that's when our body is starting to change as far as our skin. Whereas everything you hear is your 30s and 40s, especially. But by the time we get on it, here I am, 43. I'm 20 years past realizing that I need to
you have great genes, so that plays a part too. Some of us are just blessed with really good genes.
Yeah.
Other people, unfortunately, are not.
Yeah.
So, but even though if you're blessed with good genes, you still need to have a great skincare regimen because you want to, grow great old graceful,
Yeah, look here. I want to look like Auntie Angela, and
yes.
like I want people to be like, "You how old?" And I'm like, "I'm 97." They be like, "I thought you were 40."
Yeah, there you go.
But you said something else that I didn't know. I didn't realize that because you said there are 3 things we should have: cleansers, toners, and moisturizers, right? But then you said that during different times of the month, our skin changes. And then you may need to look for these products that have multiple cleansers and multiple moisturizers. I didn't realize that was even a thing, that there would be 2 or more different types of cleansers in one. If anybody, tell us what types of routine you have as far as your skincare. If you're currently using the cleanser, toner, and moisturizer, if you're only just doing one, or how that's going. And if like Marla, can you talk some more about that? I've never, maybe because I'm not an expert at it, I didn't pay attention to it, but I didn't know that there could be different.
Yeah. So when I say like have 2 cleansers or 2 moisturizers, just for example, for most women who have the time of the month, so our skin changes hormonally, So typically a week prior, we for the most part, we all know our skin. It's like, oh, I feel a breakout coming. So you may use a particular cleanser, where you're not having any skin issues or anything like that. That's not from your period or things like that. But if you break out a week prior to, or you have this, this time frame where your skin goes crazy because it's that time of the month, then you would want to use a cleanser that has that's able to reduce the production of oils, keep breakouts to a minimum, things like that. So then you would switch your cleanser over, say for us would be our Youthful Glow. It's a cleanser that has a BHA in there that will help keep breakouts to a minimum. And I will put my regular daily cleanser that I normally use to the side, and I'm going to use that for the week. Or you would have a serum that's targets breakouts that you may not need to use every day throughout your 30-day throughout the month, but during that week or prior to or during, you know, you would want to use your serum that is targeted for breakouts, things like that, because you're going to keep those breakouts to a minimum. So most people to have a successful skincare regimen just don't have just one cleanser or maybe just one moisturizer. It really comprises of, you know, sometimes 2 cleansers, 2 serums, several different types of masks, you know, because you may be dry, you know, certain times of the month, or you may have, if it's that time of month, you may have an extra oily T-zone, you know, and so that kind of takes me into like multi-masking. That's a thing that's really becoming known, you know. So most people, when they were used to just taking one mask and they would just apply it all over their face. Well, that would be perfect in the perfect world if we were only dealing with one skin concern. So we'll use combination skin. Most people who are combination are oily in their T-zone area, and then they have the dryness around the cheeks in this area. You would not want to put a mask on a combination skin on the part area that's dry, where you're trying to absorb all of the oil in the T-zone. So multi-masking is you would take 2 or more products, mask. You will put the product that is for your T-zone area that is oily. You will mask that particular area. You'll take, say, the mask that's for hydration. Then you're going to mask this part area. So maybe this area is black because you're using charcoal mask. Maybe this is pink because, you know, it's just, you know, hydrating. So you actually have like, it looks like a color coordinated type of face thing going on, because you have maybe 2 or 3 different masks in one session that you're masking your face, because you're targeting any particular area or skin concerns that you're trying to deal with in that masking session. You know? So these are just like tips and tricks that you can do. So you don't ever want to really treat your face, your whole face, for one particular skin concern if that is not what is actually going on at that point.
Yeah, I had no idea that there were multi-masks. So that's something new to me. So what is probably like, well, maybe you have more than one, but what is probably the biggest mistake that you see people making when it comes to their skincare routine, and what are the suggestions that you make to correct that?
So the biggest mistake I see is people who are not using products for their skin type.
Okay.
People, if you don't know your skin type, that's one of the biggest concerns, mistakes that I do see. And then they're really confused as to why their skincare regimen and their products are not working, because it's not for their skin. One of the biggest mistakes I see is most people think that they're oily when they're truly not oily skin, and they're mostly combination skin. And so they're using all these products to dry out their skin, or because they want to get rid of the oils and stuff. And then they're causing havoc on the other parts of their skin that, you know, is not oily. And when we use products like that, our skin will naturally just start to create more oils to compensate for the loss that we're using, and the product's trying to strip the oils from our skin. So the first mistake is most people are using products that are not for their skin type. And so that's why we have that skincare quiz that is on our site. You know, it's a great starting point. I always direct people there. You know, start there if you do not know what your skin type is. The second concern or mistake I think people have is just that they're not consistent. You know, they expect stuff to work immediately. You know, we buy stuff and, you know, we think we have this wonder product. You know, we fall for the hype, whatever the case may be, what the promise is going to be. We use it 2-3 times and then we don't see the results that we want. We put it away. We're upset. We spent our money. In all actuality, we weren't consistent, and we didn't have the patience to allow the product to actually do what it needs to do. You know, so if you don't have a skincare regimen and you're not trained, your skin is not trained, the products are not going to work the way you anticipate it to work anyway. You know, that is why it's important to have a skincare regimen. You know? So if someone who doesn't have, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead. I didn't.
Someone who doesn't have a regimen, a skincare regimen that doesn't include exfoliating their skin. Our skin like sheds every 30 days. Our skin cells, dry, dead skin cells that we don't see with our eyes. And so again, as we age, that production slows down. And so we need to have, you know, incorporate these extra steps where it's exfoliating and masking. The exfoliating helps us keep that process going. So for someone who doesn't even have a skincare regimen, or for someone who does not even exfoliate their skin, they have this layer of dead skin cells that is on their skin. So if you have this layer of dead skin cells, well, how is that product going to penetrate? It will not.
Yeah.
So you're spending your money and
Mm.
you're not getting the results you want, but that also falls back to the importance of having a skincare regimen.
So it's almost like before you paint, you're supposed to like sand stuff down,
Yeah,
like with the
exactly. That's
prime
a great
and all
analogy.
that
Yeah,
stuff. So
exactly.
I have a couple questions for you. I told you I'm over here taking notes. So you say people aren't consistent. How much time should they give a new product to start seeing the results? Because we all know everybody wants quick results. They want to put it on their face, and that's why those commercials are popping when they say this is just 5 minutes later, and they show how glowing they look and all that stuff. And we know that then 5 minutes later they're gonna look just the same, if not worse. But when it comes to trying new products, how much time should they give themselves? Give the product to work before they give up and try to switch it.
So it depends on the product. If it's a product that contains active ingredients, that's like your fruit acids, like folic acid stuff, you could potentially see some sort of change within a 2-week period because those types of products, they speed up any type of cellular turnover, so you'll see visibility results faster.
Okay.
But overall, you really need to give a product at least 60 days to honestly say it does not work.
Wow.
60 days.
Did y'all know that? I didn't know that. Let us know how.
Now, I'm not saying, you're using this product and you're like, oh, I'm burning and itching, then stop. Listen to your skin.
Right. That ain't it.
Marla said I gotta go 60 days, and you're no. In the whole process, please listen to your skin, because if you're having a reaction, then stop. But as everything is going smoothly, you need a good 60 days to truly say, I gave this product a fair chance and it just doesn't work, aside from reactions and things like that. We're trained to think that, if it's burning, it's working.
No.
And that is so not the case. Like, that's your body saying, I don't like it. Your skin saying, I don't like it. Take it off.
It just,
I want it on.
When you said that, I could just see like social media videos of people trying it, like it's burning, and it says 30 minutes, so I'm gonna keep it on, and then they reveal and their skin is just jacked up. I could see people doing that, like, oh, it must be working. Don't y'all do that. Auntie Marla said, don't you do that. Once it stings, that means it's not for you. Take it off, y'all. Like, no. So I need to get that vision out of my head because I can so see it. I can see it. But how often? So you mentioned exfoliating and masking. How often should we do that? Because I'm assuming that too much exfoliation will wear your skin down, right? Too much of anything is not a good thing. So how often should they be done?
So typically you can exfoliate anywhere from someone who has normal skin combination. You can exfoliate up to 2 times within a week, but typically 1 time should be enough. Okay. Yeah. Someone who is oily can stand to exfoliate up to 3 times. Really? And when I say oily, like if you have to ask yourself, do I have oily skin? Then you probably don't.
Right.
Like people who truly oily skin type will know that they are oily skin. So the average person is about a combination because, our skin changes so often. So you could stand to exfoliate up to 2 times per week. You don't need to be aggressive with it. It's not like you're sitting here scrubbing super hard. I tend to say don't try to use things that have like walnut shells and all those type of things. Those are too abrasive and they can leave like lesions that are not visible to the eye. If you're going to use something, make sure you use castor sugar. It's finer granules than regular table sugar that you're.
What type of sugar?
Castor sugar.
Castor?
So it's like a fine powdery sugar versus the table sugar that you usually see with, So castor sugar is usually found in like bakeries and things like that. You can find it online. So, you want to use things. You could use ground oatmeal, anything that's pretty gentle that you can go ahead and exfoliate. That's the physical aspect, the physical portion of exfoliating. You can also exfoliate with the chemical side, which is going to be your lactic, your glycolic acids, fruit acids, things like that. You want to pay attention to what the directions say on there, So typically that's still a once a week type of thing. You would not want to take a chemical-based exfoliant and a physical-based exfoliant and do them in the same day.
Oh, gosh.
They're both exfoliating. It's just one is not physical, one is chemical, So you don't want to do both of them in the same day. So you got to be careful. Know your ingredients, because a mask even though, you know, a mask could be an exfoliating mask
Yeah.
because it has glycolic acid in it. So it's technically an exfoliating mask. It's not just one that's hydrating or whatever the case may be. It's considered an exfoliating mask versus, if you, for lack of analogy, a sugar scrub that we use for your face.
Yeah.
You know, that's a physical.
Huh. See, you schooling. I didn't even know there was such thing as an exfoliating mask.
Yeah.
Because, you know, and for me, it is interesting when you mentioned the walnut shells. I don't know if you saw, but I just started cringing thinking about putting it on my face. Yeah. You know, because my skin, I was diagnosed with eczema I don't even remember how long it's been, probably as a kid. So my skin is extremely dry and sensitive. Like I'm always looking for, you know, dry skin stuff and sensitive skin stuff. So when you're talking about oily, I'm like, I am so the opposite of oily that I know anything that's talking about drying it out is just my face feels like somebody's doing this. And I'm like, no, no, but like I've always wanted to try it because I do, you know, whether we want to or not, we want to admit it or not, we all want to, you know, people to look at us like, ooh, you know, like, and I will say, even though I have eczema, I'm fortunate that my skin for the most part is clear, you know, so, huh?
Beautiful skin. I'm
like, oh, girl, thank you. I'm trying to be like you. I told you, like, y'all see Marla coordinating with the glasses and the scarf, and Marla always lip gloss always popping.
Oh.
Like when I know Marla coming around, I'm like, I better step it up just a tad. Like, dang. But my skin, you know, even though, you know, people comment on how clear it is, I know how sensitive it is, and it's so quick to react. So, but I try to maintain, because like I said, I'm trying to be like Auntie Angela. I do want my skin to last. So I am one of those people when I hear about a new product, even though I know I have to protect my skin because it is so sensitive, I do try to follow the trends, you know, get this cleanser, get this snap. But I found that a lot of them still like tear my skin up, you know, the exfoliating. So what would, for anybody who may be like me, who has sensitive skin, who has eczema, you know, what are some ways, because you mentioned different types of exfoliators. You said because you mentioned chemical and physical. So what's something that, you know, we could possibly try? Because I tried the physical and I felt like that was too abrasive for me.
Abrasive.
Yeah.
Yes, because you have sensitive reactive skin. And so I have sensitive reactive skin, but not all over, just in certain parts of my face. But I'm okay with knowing that when I use something, I may get a little reaction, but I know it goes away after my session or whatever the case may be. But being that you have super sensitive skin and your skin doesn't tolerate the physical aspect of it, you like alpha hydroxy acids, they're very gentle. People have sensitive skin. Even people with the most sensitive skin can use alpha hydroxy acids. But also here, they're known as AHAs. You know, even fruit acids are even gentler, more gentler than the AHA. So that is anything like your lemons, your limes, your oranges, and things like that. Those enzymes are even gentler, more gentler than, you know, AHA. So you could find yourself a nice cream-based exfoliating mask, AHA mask, that you would just start off with 5 minutes. Don't put it on, you know, listen to your skin. You start off with short interval and then rinse off and then see how your skin. Because sometimes when people have dry skin, they need to exfoliate because they tend to get the extra layer of dry skin.
Yeah, like
the product is not penetrating your skin properly. Because you need to incorporate the exfoliating aspect of your skincare regimen. But you can get the exfoliating from the lactic acid, the AHAs, and things like that. You don't want to use probably anything with glycolic acid. That's going to be way too hard, way too strong for your sensitive skin. Anything that has AHAs in there would be a great option.
It's just interesting. That's why I'm so glad that you're here to school folks and school me. I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure Marla's schooling you too. So if you're learning stuff, to drop down your biggest takeaway so far, because we're not dealing with Marla yet. I'm gonna let it go in a little bit, but I try to hold on to it as long as I can because I'm always just like shocked. Like I'm really over here taking notes. I'm not playing. But it's interesting. A few things I wouldn't have thought that there was anything. To me, cream-based exfoliator sounds like an oxymoron. So that's like interesting, like, oh, you can find something that hopefully can cleanse the skin because like you said, for me, I really can tell around my edges and around my nose. That's when I notice like I can see the skin, like I see my dry skin like lingering and I'm like, okay, and I'm I never thought to exfoliate because I was so afraid of exfoliating. So I thought I just had to moisturize more. But you're saying go ahead and get that dead skin off so that the moisturizer that you use can do what it's supposed to do. Got that. And then it was just interesting. You keep talking about acids cleaning our face. Like to me, I'm like, acid. Like, because I don't know about y'all. And if anybody else is like me, when you think about taking care of your skin, you like, oh, I got to take care of this because this is the first thing people see, right? So I would have never thought that there were any acids. I guess acids have like a bad stigma around them, right? I would have never thought that there are acids that are good for our skin. So I heard you mention AHAs. Can you tell us more about those? And I know you mentioned fruit acids, but like, what are the? I guess why are they called acids, and we're supposed to throw it on our
No,
skin?
because we have this pH. We have a pH scale from 0 to 7, right? And so I
Mm-hmm.
mean 0 to 14. So anything that's 7 is your neutral zone.
Mm-hmm.
So our skin is naturally acidic. It thrives with a little acidic. So for our skin to be healthy with a little bacteria and things like that is anywhere for people between 4.8 to about 5.8, around 6. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So once you get past the 7, you're going into the acidic. When you're above 7, you're in the alkaline.
Mm-hmm.
So it's no different than battery acids per se. So they have a low pH level,
Uh-huh.
which is okay, but that's why they got the terminology acid. So the AHAs are water loving. So they're responsible for the glow,
Mm-hmm.
and evening out the skin tone and things like that. So
Must be what you use and why you popping
I
off.
do, I do formulate a lot with AHAs. I do.
Because I was,
We
soon
are
as you said
heavy
that the
on
glow.
the AHAs.
Okay, there we go. Because I'm sure
So
everybody wants to know what you use, and y'all see my skin.
AHA, so
Yeah.
that's anything from like the lactic acid, malic acid, taric acid. Those are like the taric and malic is like an apples. So
Mm-hmm.
you can get your lemons, your oranges, all of that, but from the extraction from the chemical aspect of it is
Mm-hmm.
where you want to get the alpha hydroxy. You don't want to take a lemon, even though it's an alpha hydroxy. I know there's like the DIY where you can take a lemon and dip it in sugar and then you scrub it.
Yeah, I've seen that.
We don't want to do that because one, that's too low on the pH level. It's like
Mm-hmm.
a 2, and that is way too low. And we have this protective layer on our face, the
Mm-hmm.
acid mantle, which is there to keep good bacteria in, bad bacteria out. And then when we start to do these DIYs at home, like the lemons, because we know that it's a exfoliating acid,
Mm-hmm.
it's too strong for our face. And
Mm-hmm.
plus, you don't know what the actual pH level of each lemon is slightly different. One could be a 0, one could be a 1, one could be a 2. So you don't want to take fruits like that at home. Those typical DIYs aren't the best for our skin. You need to go ahead and get it in an extraction form that they get the AHAs, which
Mm-hmm.
is the safer way to do.
Mm-hmm.
So everything is a chemical. Let me
Yeah.
start there saying that. We learned that in school, even down to water. We tend to get very fearful, and I know that the media likes to use scare tactics, like you
Mm-hmm.
don't want to use this on our face, and they
Mm-hmm.
like the word acids and things like
Yeah.
that, especially with the trend, with the green trend going around and the naturals and the non-toxic and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. That is the difference between Marla Renee Skincare, how we stay, how we have our stance. We are non-toxic,
Mm-hmm.
meaning that I'm not going to sit here and tell you that there are no chemicals in anything that we use. Everything is a chemical. Aside from it coming up from the ground, that is natural. And yes, those are your clays. Those are natural ingredients. They're earth. They come from the earth. But to get effective skincare and to see results, you have to have products that have controlled and non-toxic ingredients that are, and that's where I stand. That's my stance on
Yeah.
it.
It's fun. If any of you have tried those DIY, those home exfoliating tips, let us know in the comments because I know as soon as you talked about the lemon, that was the first thing because I feel like that may have been something that I tried with my old dry skin, like when I was in college, because I heard about it. And I'm like, all you gotta do, and it's cheaper. I don't have to buy anything, just get a lemon and this and that. And I'm sitting there. and I'm rubbing it on my face, and I'm like, "Ooh, this is burning," but they
Mhm.
say that it's necessary, so I'm gonna do it.
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah, exactly. And that's been around for ages. That DIY is so old. So very well may have done it. And it's one of the most dangerous ones that is out there to do. You
Yeah.
know, and I think it's also we just change our mindset and think of skincare as an investment,
Mm-hmm.
then you wouldn't have a problem so much as saying, okay, I have to pay X in order to, receive, get the results that we want. Our
Yeah.
skin is our largest organ in our body. It
Mm-hmm.
absorbs 60% of what we put on it in a
Mm-hmm.
matter of 15 seconds or less, 60%
Wow.
in less than 20 seconds, what we put on our body.
Mm-hmm.
So, in that aspect, we really should educate ourselves and be knowledgeable and want to invest so that, we have great skin as we age.
Yeah, because that's the thing, especially as we get older, like you said, our skin has been losing collagen for 20 plus years, y'all. It's not coming back, right? Like it's just does not naturally come back. So we have to make investments. And it's funny because we want things to still be like they were back in the day, but they're not. Guess what? We have to take vitamins. We have to get new products. There are different parts of our routine that have to change so that we can maintain the look or the feel of what we used to have. So speaking of that, Marla, like what's the routine that we should have? Like give us some, because we're talking about healthy habits, right? What are some things that we should do? Because I know the three things you said that we should use, right? Our
Yes,
cleanser, toner, and moisturizer. How does
that
that
is
fit
like in
into
your early
our
20s.
yeah,
Right?
how do we fit that into our routine?
For us in our age bracket, in our later 30s, early 40s, we need to have more than a three-step skincare routine.
Oh, dang it. Get your
Okay,
pen.
you need to have more than a three-step. Okay, so you have your cleanser, you have your toner, and I know a lot of people think that maybe they don't need a toner, but it's really responsible for taking away the excess, cleanser and stuff on our skin. You need
Mm-hmm.
to have your serum. And the serum is like the workhorse of your skincare regimen. It's
Okay.
so important. Okay. Without that, so if you have a skincare issue that you're trying to target, you would want to use a serum. Like if you're like, well, do I really need, you could probably get away with like a not so expensive cleanser, but then put your money in on a serum,
Huh.
just so you can pick and choose kind of where you want to put your
Yeah.
coins and stuff like that. But a serum is super duper important. You will after your serum comes your treatment. So if you're fighting any type of hyperpigmentation, acne, or things like that, this is where you would get your any type of treatments that you would need. Treatments will be like concentrated products. So maybe this product specifically for hyperpigmentation. And this is also where you would do any of your eye care. We really need to incorporate some type of eye care regimen
Mm-hmm.
because that's where we show our signs of aging. The first
Mm-hmm.
sign is around our eye.
Mm-hmm.
You know, After that, you have your facial moisturizer, and some people do use facial oil.
Okay. Yeah, I've tried that before. Like I said, because my skin is so dry, I tried the oils, and I
Mhm.
just realized my skin doesn't like the oils. It just doesn't. Just no. So all right. So for us more seasoned people, instead of three steps, we have five. It looks like.
Yes.
So
And
are these?
it could go further. I mean, we didn't even talk
Yeah.
about it. So that was just your basic, but then you need to have your exfoliating. You
Mm.
do that once a week. Then you have your masking, which is once a week.
So
So
these other five. That's what I was going to ask you. You suggest that you recommend that these are daily things that we take care
the
of.
five are daily,
Okay.
and then your masking and your exfoliating, those are weekly things. You can also incorporate steaming as well into your skincare regimen. So
Steaming.
it can be as extensive or, I mean, a great skincare regimen really only takes a good maybe 10, 15 minutes. That's it. You don't really have to
Yeah.
spend an hour. And I know back in the day, we used to think we had to wait until each step that our skincare dried, but
Oh
we don't
yeah.
have to. You can go into your next step.
Mm.
So it really just takes a good 10 minutes tops, and you have yourself a routine.
And I think you all have 10 minutes, right, for good glowing skin, good
Yes.
healthy skin. Like I need to get on the site and get me some exfoliators because I really do want to try that and just see how different my skin feels. after exfoliated because I've wanted to for the longest. Like I said, I really see it here the most. So yeah, so you all tell us in the comments what you feel like you need to start adding to your routine that you typically don't. Like I said, I think for the most part, I'm just being honest. I think I just had cleanser and moisturizer. I didn't even
Yep.
think about the toner. So I see I'm tripping because now I need to get me a serum since she said it's the workforce of the skin.
It's the workhorse of your skincare regimen.
And I need to, so treatments. Before we go, can you talk about what those treatments are again? Like you said, if you have blemishes, or is that what you're talking about? Like if you have
Mhm.
dark spots?
So if you have acne, I'm just using that word as treatment. So you
Yeah.
may have a specific product that's
Okay.
going to target that. So after you do your serum, or after you use your serum, you would then use your treatment. So
Okay.
therefore, your cream is maybe it's white willow or something of that nature. Any type of ingredient that's going to target that acne,
Mhm.
that's your treatment you would use after your serum.
Okay.
Yeah. So hyperpigmentation could be wrinkles. It could be your peptide cream. It could be
Mhm.
your collagen infused cream, whatever the case may. It could be your eye regimen at that point.
Okay.
Anything after you do your serum would come your treatment phase, and then you would go into your moisturizer.
Okay. So just anything that you consider to be a problem area that you want
Mm-hmm.
to make sure you focus on.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay, there we go. All right. All right. Well, Marla, yo, I tell you, Marla, the thing about it is that I have to make sure I let her go because we could sit here. If I had my choice, we could sit here and talk forever. But I also want to respect your time too, because I know you're logging in the middle of the day, having your lunch while you're learning about how to take care of your skin. So Marla, what do you want to leave the people with? Any last thoughts before I let you go and get up out of here since you're schooling us on? Uh-oh, did we lose Marla? Oh, y'all, we lost Marla, but that's okay. Well, I'm sad about it, but she gave us so much great information. Like I said, the link for you to find your skin type will be in the comments. It will be in your email, the replay email for the day. Make sure that you log in to try to find out what it is because what it was 10 years ago could be different today. So I appreciate you all for coming today, showing up, showing out, and for our beauty day, where we're talking about skin, and later on we will be talking about hair. And then tomorrow, we are going to talk about some of our wellness essentials that people are missing out on. But you know what? We'll handle that tomorrow. But I appreciate you all for showing up today. Marla, something happened with the connection, but we're still gonna give Marla some loves, clap it up, some hearts, some likes, all that good stuff. And I want you all to have an amazing day. And I will see you all later.